Alright, well, audio is working, so that's good. Learn, game catcher, add a source here. Display capture, okay. Honic. Hey, there we go. All right, let's get rolling. So, just for VOD purposes, I guess. So we are 38 million berries right now, as of now. So, just for VOD. We are 38 million berries. I think, I'm not from Georgia. I think last season we topped out at 25 million. And, yeah. This season we're gonna try to we're gonna try to get up there. You know what I mean? We're gonna try to get up there. So yeah, last season we peaked about like 80 million berries, and then like we kind of fell off after towards the end of 14 because we were testing some stuff. This is the deck list we're running. This is also the deck list I plan on going into a regional this weekend, minus maybe these, and then yeah, let's just go through it. So the Ace Sabo and Luffy SR are in here as just like a standard 2K, and then if there's like a pinch, where it's like I need a cheaper way to go minus 3K to something, you could just pop this out for 2 Dawn. You trash this character, and then if you put an active Dawn on your leader or up to one, or I think it's leader or one of your characters. So you can technically, like for 2, play this out, trash this, put a Dawn on your Rebecca, and then minus 3 whatever you're minusing. Again, another good 2K. I have the standard 2K Cavendish. If you have 4 more events in your trash, this character gains plus 2,000. It's more or less for a 2K, but if I'm on curve and then unfortunately I don't have like a Cavendish to play out, I'll play this one out just to have something on the board just to play. Moving on. This might be tech, but the 10 cost Shanks, it's I don't know what it is about 10 cost Shanks, but one of my buddies at my local shop kind of convinced me to run it in like on curve turn 7, like you're playing this into this, or maybe this, or Dawn 7 you're playing this into Memento, or you're playing it into Barrier. Now, on the next turn, you're not quite at 10 Dawn, but you can still play one of these. And then you go into this, into a Fire Fist, into a Baby Fire Fist, to maybe KO something. So you have 2 blockers already up on curve. And then if you have this in hand, 9 times out of 10, with how much control you have with this deck, you're not going to die. And you don't really have a lot of boards, like a board swingers, because these are, again, this is your defense right here. So, in a perfect world, you have 2 of these up, you have a Cavendish. If you don't have the Cavendish, that's fine. But you have 2 of these up, You're probably at 2 life by then. Just play the Shanks. Especially if you're using these to board wipe. That's why I love playing this deck into Ace. Because boom into boom, you get rid of a Marco or a Yamato or whatever. And in a perfect world, the Ace has no swingers, but maybe, you missed something along the line. Nevertheless, you got rid of one, so now the Ace has 2 swingers. Boom, they play out 8-drop event, bring the Newgate out, swing with leader, boom, free block. Swing with whoever they else, you either counter or you take. Well, then the next turn, you're only at 9 Dawn, so boom, you play boom. Play Fire Fist. Baby Fire Fist. Get rid of the Whitebeard. Well, now you have 2 blockers down to their 2 swingers again. So why not on the next turn just play the Shanks? Unless they play another Whitebeard, then, control. But, yeah. So I like the Shanks. Roger's always good. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a situational card. But, like, the situation that you need it in almost always wins you the game. And that's the goal. The goal is to win. And to have fun while you're doing it. And, like, people will hate this card, and I love seeing IRL reactions to a Roger getting dropped. Might be the most satisfying thing in the world. Moving on. So we have our Violas, our top 3 Dressrosa Searcher 2Ks. We have 3 of the Leos instead of 4. I went down 1 in this deck list in particular for the Gum Gum Giant Thrust, and we'll get to that later. This is board protection. You want to play this if you don't have like a Viola or a Rebecca and you're starting 5 hands and it's turn 1 and this is for on curve. Just play out the Leo. Next turn, pray you have one of these, play out one of these. If you have 2 of them, play out both of them, so that way the Leo has something to bottom deck that isn't himself. And then off of these searches, get the Memento, get the Cavendish, boom, Bob's your uncle. I think, in my opinion, this Leo and the Green Laboon are like the 2 best board protectors. The Laboon protects, I think, a little bit more than the Leo, but in terms of protecting the Cavendish, the Leo does a pretty good job. 4 of the Rebeccas, running 8 searchers, because this deck draws like no other. Dawn times 1, this character gains blocker, another top 3 search for Dressrosa. This is a standard package. Like this whole section is just a standard package. Moving on, we've got our 4 Cavendishes. You really only ever want to have like 1 on the board unless you don't really have a big board space, especially against like these tempo decks that like really swarm the board, like an L, because you chew through so much counter with an L. I mean, you need a good hand size. But other than that, you really want to. I only play 1 at least. I mean, if that's the wrong way to play it, then, we'll find out in the games. But, yeah, draw 2, trash 1. So it's a good, cycle deck. Say your hand's full of these and you want to get rid of them. Or your hand's full of these Cavendish's bricks, then you want to get rid of them. So, 4 of the Sabos. These are your bread and butter. Very similar to red-black Sabo. I mean, you want to find these, and you want to find all 4 of them. And it's really easy to find all 4 of them with this deck, which is really nice. Into the tech that I picked up off of a gumgum.g deck list that was submitted, because I'm always there looking for inspiration. This is a Starter Deck 10 Block 2 event Now read this. Up to one of your leaders or characters gains plus 2,000 power during this battle. So it's a 2k for 1 Dawn. And KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 2,000 power or less. That's insane. Why is it insane? Because Fire Fist over here gives minus 8,000 power until the end of your opponent's turn. So I was playing a Gecko the one day, 9 Dawn turn, Sabo, Fire Fist, on a Boa Hancock. Boom, swung, did my thing, passed the turn. I had one of these in hand. Swung 6 with leader. I countered 2k and then KO'd his Boa. Now the Boa wasn't going to swing, but got rid of the Boa. So yeah, I mean, this is I feel like this is like the best tech I've seen out of all the deck lists that I've seen. Moving on. This is what I like to call like the control portion, except for Memento. Baby Fire Fist. Give up to one of your opponent's minus 4,000 power this turn. Then, if you have 2 or less life, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 0 power or less. This is amazing. Early on, I saw a lot of people running like 1 or 2 of these. I think you need... If you have less than 3, I think you're really missing out on a lot of plays. This combo KOs any 12,000 power character. The Fire Fist into the Baby Fire Fist. I mean, these synergize off of one another like a lot. Just a really good card, especially because you're going to go down to 2 life very early. I mean, this deck really likes to sit at 2 life. This deck really likes to sit with cards in hand. It's whenever it becomes extremely tanky. And then the Just Watch Me Ace, really good offensive and defensive card. It's a 3k counter, minus 3k to your opponent's character. Not leader, unfortunately. But what are you going to do? You play like a green-purple Luffy and he brings out like the restand Luffy. This is pretty good to have, especially if you can see it coming. Fire Fist, I mean, probably the best card in this deck. Up to one of your leaders gains 3,000 power during this turn and give up to one of your opponent's characters minus 8,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. Then you may trash 2 cards in your hand. If you do, K up to one of your opponent's characters with 0 power or less. So that's alright. That's nothing like crazy. The ending part of that, like the beginning part of that, is insane. You completely nullify big bodies like it's nothing, and you can essentially play it for free. And then this is where like the synergy comes from with all of these cards down here with your Sabo blocker. Then you have Memento. If your leader is Lucy, choose 1, draw 2 cards, and trash 1 from your hand. Then play up to 1 Dressrosa type character with a cost of 4 or less from your hand. So you can play the Cavendish for free and draw 1 off of it and cycle 1 off of it. And then if anybody ever plays Emu ever again, you're going to return the Emu stage to Emu's hand, which I did to my buddy JD, I think like 3 times the other week in locals. Then Barrier Pistol. Place up to one of your opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less at the bottom of the owner's deck. This bounces with this a lot because you go minus 3k to something that's 9k. So especially if in the mirror matchup, this combo is huge because you can go tap 1 for Just Watch Me Ace if you have 4 or more events in your trash. Sabo, Berry Pistol, bottom deck one of their Sabos, now you're up a Sabo. And now they have to answer back with it. So you're just constantly answering and answering. And then The second 7-drop event would draw 2 cards. Then if your leader is Lucy, your leader gains double attack and plus 3,000 power this turn. This is good if you need cards in hand, because you can draw 3 off of your leader's effect. But honestly, I like it for the trigger more, which is why there's not as many. Pretty situational. And then Dressrosa Kingdom. If your leader has the Dressrosa type, draw 1 card. On your opponent's attack, you may rest his stage and trash 1 event, and then one of your leader or characters gains 2,000 power for the battle. A lot of people were running 4 of these. A lot of people thought that these were going to be like the Revolutionary Army headquarters event for like Red Black Sabo. Like, you're going to need these, but now most deck lists have 2 of them because you can pretty much go through the game without getting it. But again, with how much this deck draws, you're going to get it. And then for your leader's effect, when attacking, so offensively and defensively, you may trash any number of events or stage cards from your hand. This leader gains plus 1,000 power during this battle for every card trashed. So all of these events are 1Ks. Just to lead into how much tanky they are. Or all of these events are pretty much 1 Dawn. So it's really nice to have like the lethal. If you have like 1 of these and then you play the Roger, but your opponent's got like 3 cards in hand and he's like, oh, I just have to counter 1. But you've got like a million events. Boom, you can swing 9 and then like 11 and then like 13 because of all of your events. And then activate main once per turn. If you have activated an event with a base cost of 3 or more, draw 1 card. So like, draw 2, trash 1, but draw 1 more. So you cycle 1, but you draw 1. So, and then draw 3, draw 1, draw 1, draw 1. You don't draw off of these, but that's fine. And then this has on play, draw 1. So let's get into it. And now, I've got a feeling I'm going to play against one of these very soon. So we're going to take the first. This is not what I want, but we do have the Sabo. We've got this, and we've got a Searcher. For the sake of the video, we'll play it, but this might end up being really slow. I think the best thing is Dressrosa, so that way we can draw. What we're going to try to find... Okay, so we found a Memento. Cavendish? No. So we'll just go wide here. Swing 7. And pass. The thing that I've learned with Enel is Enel... You need to go for his board in both matchups. Perfect. So, could Kingdom Come this. We don't have a Leo, but we could draw into 1. So let's trash the other one. Draw 1? No. Okay. So I think the best course is swing 6 here. Try to get a 2K out. What? KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to or less than the total of your opponent's life cards. So I had 5 life. If I had 5 life, he'd be protected. Well, that fucking sucks. essentially just played that for free. Wiper. There's no Thriller Bark in his trash, so that's good. Okay. So this is a barrier. And I think we barrier the Hogback. He has no Thriller Bark in his trash. So there's no sense. Or is that from trash or hand? Yeah, just from your trash. Alright, well since this got triggered out, this game's probably going to be a little slow. I think now we can begin to counter. So I'll probably trash that for 1k, and then whatever he swings here, I'll probably just block. Yeah, probably just going to heal. That's okay, because we can get rid of this. See, now, we don't need to do it on the turn that we're playing. So we can still maybe save our Dawn for like a Rebecca search, but just watch. So we go boom. We go Fire Fist. -8 here. Don't trash 2. Draw. Replace. And then we pimp a search. Grab another Fire Fist for the next turn. Swing 8 at life. He's going down early. And then honestly, we could probably swing another 9 because I think we can protect this. And there's a chance that this gets Kingdom Comed. So boom, now he's in a situation where he probably wants to heal. So I'm probably going to 2k early here with the Cavendish. And then I want to 2k this 6. Interesting. So I think we, what? This is 10, 11, 12, 13. So this is double 2k. So what we do is we Viola into this, into that, and then we resolve. And then we just block the Wiper. I really want to keep that barrier. So I forgot about the Piranha. Maybe. Okay, so boom. Very nice sequence there.